Hello, Culinary Corner tonight. I'm going to deep fry some mini Baby-Bels. I've no idea whether this will work because I've never tried doing it before and I don't know the chemical composition of the miniature cheeses in question. But, let's give it a go, see what happens. Now, I'm going to actually sound like a bit of an expert here, but I've never done it, so we're all on this adventure together. Right, so what do we need? We need one of these. This is a mini Baby-Bel. It's one of the light variety because, you don't want to have too much indulgence in your life. Now, what you'll find is it comes in a little wax compartment like this, and you don't want to be deep frying wax. It's not good, People must have tried it at some point, just to know that it wasn't good. It's a bit difficult to do one-handed, but, I'm a pro here. So I'm going to ease that out, just very, very gently. Look at that. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Right, let's move this over to what I call a dustbin. Most kitchens will have one of these. They're pretty good value. Definitely, if you don't want rubbish piling up, then by all means get a dustbin. It's well worth it. Now, what have I got here? I've got seasoned flour. That's seasoned with mustard powder, with salt and with pepper. Two of those are traditional condiments. One of them isn't, but, it's 2017, anything goes. What we've got here is some beaten egg, beaten to within an inch of its life, but you'll notice there's still some bits of yolk in there, just some bits of yolk. It doesn't matter. This is actually my pestle and mortar, and I know it looks like it has an erection, but it really doesn't. There's nothing lewd going on here. And finally, these are some dodgy breadcrumbs which I picked up from a shop and then never used because I actually used good breadcrumbs. So what my theory is that I'm going to try and dust this off in the flour, and then I'm going to, oh, hang on, I'm not filming it, put it in the egg, and then put it in the breadcrumbs. You see, we're forming a crust now, a nice crust. Right, okay, now that can go over there. Okay, sack the cameraman, he's all over his shop. Right, now, back into the seasoned flour. And I've got too much seasoned flour, so effectively I'm going to have to pretty much eat this with a spoon later, because we don't want food waste. A lot of people are starving out there, so if you've got any leftover flour, any leftover beaten egg, any leftover breadcrumbs, eat the lot with a spoon. It's sooner that you eat it, choke, and hate it, than it gets wasted. Now I'm just going to go and wash my hands ever so slightly. Well, actually no, completely thoroughly. You'll see here there are two unwashed bowls at the moment. This is what we call in soak. And by putting bowls in soak, it means you can delay actually having to wash them up for quite some time. Right, now I'm going to have to put the phone down because I really can't light the oven one-handed, but I'll be back in just a second. Okay, I'm back now, and now what you can see is some oil in a pan. This is a saucepan, but it's actually not brilliant for making... oh no, it's not, it's a frying pan. Right, it's the same thing anyway, just ignore me. I'm going to be doing a cookery course now, and all this technical jargon will become clear to me. Now, I'm preheating some oil in my pan at the moment. I've gone for a neutral oil, a groundnut oil. There you can see my iPad. That's just charging and causing an electrical hazard. Don't worry too much about that. You won't have to do that. That's an incidental part. This is peptac, which we use for indigestion. Again, try and keep it separate from the food, especially with deep fried cheese. Now, I'm going to let this just come up to a nice heat. And this is what I call shallow frying. Obviously, it's not what I call shallow frying, it's what everyone calls shallow frying. There's only a little bit of oil. We've got no sort of meat to cook through here. I'm sorry you can't see my face, it's a big loss at the moment, but really I haven't mastered the use of a camera phone, so what else can you do? Right, now that's coming up to a decent sort of temperature. Let's just try and swirl that oil around. Yeah, that's fine. I don't know why I've done that. And I'm just going to put these into a pan and see what happens. So there's no sizzling going on at the moment, and I've done that wrong because what you should really do is drop some breadcrumbs into the hot oil and just let it see if it sizzles, but frankly I can't be bothered. So we're going to turn back round to my face for a while, until it starts sizzling really, because otherwise you've got nothing else to focus on. At the moment I've got the camera sort of facing away from me. I'm not doing a pano or anything like that, so you're going to have to excuse me if you can only see corner of my head. That again is not intrinsic to a cooking process. You don't even have to film yourself while you're doing this. Oh, right, okay, we've got some sizzling going on, so let's go and have a look at that. Right, so this is sizzling. 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 Good. Right, and they're sizzling away nicely. And I'm going to give that a bit of time. It'll probably set off a smoke alarm, so I'm going to, well actually no, I was going to switch on the extractor fan, but I can't, so you can't hear me. The cheese is melting, that's an excellent sign. So I'm going to go and get some tongs. The tongs will probably be completely useless because the cheese will obviously melt and they'll just turn into a horrific mush. But you know, let's have a look. Oh no, that's rubbish. But the cheese is melting. Now, it's in the nature of cheese to melt, I do appreciate that, but I just wondered, because this is quite a stringy, chewy cheese, whether it'd actually do that. And you know, I mean, Baby-Bels last 1,000 years, so you don't know what sort of shit's gone into them really, you know, I mean, we're not talking Stilton or properly preserved cheddar here. But yeah, no, that's sizzling nicely away. I really have not got time to make up a sauce, or a jam, or a chutney, or if you will, an amuse-bouche. So there is no time for my bouche to be even remotely amused, as you probably won't be by this video. But you know, what else have you got to do with your lives? It's not Christmas yet for another week or so. I don't know, I haven't done any shopping yet. I might actually give away some of these fried cheeses as a present. So I always do that on cookery programmes, so make something quite cheap and then sort of suggest, maybe, you know, give this to your friends as a gift, and really it's, you know, just like some fucking piccalilli or something, you know. But oh no, well, I'm actually going to say that's done. That's done. And I'm going to do something very rash here. Do as I say and not as I do. So I'm playing with hot oil. Normally I would grab hold of the saucepan and move it onto a plate a bit more safely than this, but as I've got a phone in my hand, it's a bit difficult to do that. Keith Floyd never had this problem, he just had rampant alcoholism. You know, which so have I, but you know, at the moment that's not an issue for me, so really it's actually more of a phone safety issue. But here we go, we've got our Baby-Bels, they've been deep fried. Let's cut one open. We use a knife to do this. Now, whoa, ho, 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 look at that. Absolutely mundane. And you know, I mean, really, with only a little bit of seasoning, that's not really not going to taste very much. So this is an absolute waste of your time. And I've, you know, but you know, let's give it a go. And I'm going to now put this cheese towards my face so you can see me eating it. And that's all right. It's actually quite good. Yeah. So there you go. That's surprisingly not bad. Deep fried Baby-Bels, mini Baby-Bels, light variety. Brought to you by me. Thank you very much.